Like,
for
no
Fat
bad.
Joe. This
Whenever I take like 1-2 days from YouTube, y'all just be like crashing out, bro. Y'all be like, oh, bro, I'm being consistent, bro. I'm trying to drop as much videos as I can. But what I'm gonna do is separate them. Like, put one today, put one
man right here
tomorrow,
named
put
TA
a
is
few,
trying to
you
ruin
know?
his career. And TA
Yeah.
is offering to take a lie detector test to prove that all the accusations he's making against Fat Joe is 100% true. TA is a
Oh.
former entourage member of Fat Joe. His role within Fat Joe's
So what's
enterprise
going on with
differs
Fat
depending on
Joe
who you
though?
ask.
Let's see
Some
what's
people
the
will say
word.
he was just a hype man. Others will say he was a runner. TA would say he wore multiple caps. He was an A&R. He was a hype man. He was an artist. He was a runner. So he did a lot of things for Fat Joe. However, along the way, TA started to feel like he was being underappreciated.
Looking at me, then we in City Island eating at JP's, and she sitting right on the side of him. Before one time came out, he looked at me and was like, "You don't get too big on me." I said, "What you talking about?" She was right there. She heard it. If she want to keep it real, bro, she will, bro. I know your loyalty is to Joe, but real is real. Truth is truth. The crook, look what he did to Liza Rios and her 3 little kids. I'm supposed to be his brother. He's a sucker. So if she want to keep it real, she can keep it real, bro. So he said, "Yo, don't get too big on me." I'm like, nigga, hurt my heart, bro. I realized, I'm like, damn, yo, he's not gonna let me win, bro. He's not gonna let me come out, bro. All them times he's telling me there's no life outside of Terror Squad, that's what he's talking about.
This is not new. Rappers having people around them who believe that they're more talented than the rapper, who believe that they should have to shine, that the rapper is hating, trying to hold them back, that if the world just hear their music, man, the world gonna know they really the truth. Every rapper has a story like this. So it's nothing really new or special. But what's special about this TA and Fat Joe conflict is how far it has gotten. Because TA, his real issue with Fat Joe, he would claim Fat Joe hated on him. Fat Joe fired him, and Fat Joe owed him a lot of money from publishing. Obviously, this video isn't about publishing or who wrote what for who or who owed what money. This is a much darker video, and this is where the video takes a very dark turn. After coming out and speaking out against Fat Joe business practices, speaking out against Fat Joe being a hater, that really went ignored, to be honest. Like, I seen the interview. The interview did a couple thousand views, but nothing too crazy or nothing like too pressing that Fat Joe really had to respond back to. It kind of went unanswered, to be honest. So what we began to see is he began to take it up a notch. After he did the interview, it didn't really do nothing. He took the antics to Instagram. And when I say antics, I'm not trying to be demeaning or dismissive. I'm simply talking about he began to play the internet game.
Yeah.
The interviews ain't work. He went to Instagram, and this is where he began to make some very serious accusations against Fat Joe. In this post, he would compare Fat Joe to Diddy, and he would also make a very serious accusation that Fat Joe flew out this chick called Nikki when she wasn't legal yet, and he flew her across state line and out the country to sleep with her. In this Instagram post, he reposted a video of a To Catch a Predator sting.
Fat Joe, you on some Diddy timing game? What's the word? That's why he had beef with 50 game?
With the caption that stated, "Damn, homie, he even looked like Lil Joey. When you see him run out of there, you want 16-year-old Lil Joey. You are banned from being around girls who aren't legal." He would also say, when y'all see Lil Joey out in public, y'all have to chase him out of there. Lil Joey was dating and having intercourse with a 16-year-old girl named Nikki, aka Chiquita. He had a full-fledged relationship with her for 5 years. He didn't really post proof of any of this. He just kind of said it and expected us to take his word for it. And it was kind of...
This man, nah, chat, y'all geeking. Y'all telling, bro, Fat Diddy? Gang, y'all telling me this man saw this girl hit puberty, whatever, transform from a minor to an adult, bro? 5 years, gang? That means she's... Bro, this man waited till she was legal to drink, bro? Fat Diddy. Nah, did he do it? Nah.
Kind of unclear what the motive was exactly. Was he doing this because he wanted Fat Joe to give him something? Or was he just trying to expose Fat Joe because he hates him? I guess we don't know. But
that's all I gotta say.
Quite possibly the most flagrant of the post. He would actually tag one of Fat Joe's sponsors. And he would write, "Does Market America knows they have a pedo as a spokesperson?" And then it even tagged employees of the company that's giving Fat Joe money. We was at an event and Fat Joe wouldn't stop. But I will get to that later. Now, by wouldn't stop, he's insinuating that Fat Joe essayed a woman at one of their events. None of these posts were going viral. Nobody really reposted it. But once he began to tag sponsors, that's when Fat Joe began
That's when they started geeking.
And began preparing his defense to make sure that this stopped, that this ceased. Because even though the dude ain't really making noise, you don't know what type of...
Bro, that's career ending, bro.
Who's giving you money, calling you a pedo. On this post, he tagged Fat Joe and says, "Fat Joe, you asked me, do I take any accountability? Yes, I do. For watching you mess with young girls, but I was minding my business and playing my position. At the time, I was young myself. But didn't I ask, was you scared to deal with Chiquita? And what did you say? Stop moving around in the streets like you wasn't messing with a young girl. You going to continue to get this work, Joe. It's okay. You're a pedo. Go register." He didn't just stop at accusing Fat Joe of being a pedo. He would even accuse Fat Joe of being a snitch.
Chad,
this
did he
man
do
put
it,
the holy
bro?
trinity of accusations on Fat Joe. Accused Fat Joe of being a disloyal homie, a snake. Accused him of being a pedo. And then you also accuse him of being a rat? You know, those are 3
Sheesh.
accusations you can't possibly come back from in the streets. So luckily, Fat Joe
You
ain't even in
can't
the streets
come
no more.
back
But still,
from
if this is
in
true,
the
Fat Joe is
streets.
one
You
of
can't
the,
come
like a
back
top
from
5
it
most deployable rappers of all time.
nowhere,
But
bro.
we're still a
From
long way
no
from
type
deciding
of
whether or not this is
career,
true.
nothing.
But he would interview this guy who would claim that Fat Joe is the reason why he's behind bars and Fat Joe snitched on him.
Yo, Flacco. One thing I'ma tell you though, watch out with the ads, gang.
Ladies and
And I'm
gentlemen,
gonna
we have
drop it in the
Jose
few. I'm
Lazarus
gonna drop
Moyet,
this video in
aka
the few
Raise.
because
This is
y'all be
Demigod.
bugging
Pleasure
out
to
when
have you here today,
when
Raise.
I
Thanks
don't
for the
be
interview.
consistent, bro.
It's a pleasure speaking with you.
So, what were you convicted of and sentenced to?
I was convicted of racketeering, drug trafficking, and 12 murders. I was charged with being the leader of the Nasty Boy organization in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx. I was sentenced to 14 life sentences plus 205 years.
I have to ask, how authentic is this paperwork on Fat Joe?
I mean, what did you ask me? Did I sit in prison for 30 years and forge paperwork against someone who I don't know, who doesn't know me, and whose past never crossed? Look, Demigod, there are a lot of people who have never been in the feds, and so they're making comments without understanding anything. But 3 months ago, I was talking with someone who I just came off the streets, and he mentioned the paperwork on Joe. He said that he checked out all the names of the agents and the prosecutor, and they were legit. Now, with that said, why is it that others couldn't do this as well? What people don't know is that that statement comes from a proffer. For those who don't know what a proffer is, it is when you give information to the feds. There are thousands of so-called gangsters running around in the streets who did a proffer, and we would never know this. There were literally hundreds of statements made against me. Many of them I didn't see until years later. Some I still haven't.
I have the paperwork too. If y'all want me to do a video on Fat Joe's paperwork, I can. To be honest, I have like a 10-year statute of limitation on snitching. After 10 years, I think your gangster card can reset, man, okay? If you're the biggest, baddest killer, but you told in, let's say, 1985 and it's 2025, I think you can still represent as the biggest, baddest killer. You still gangster, okay? Past 10 years, I don't want to hear that snitching talk. But the dude is applying so much pressure.
Nah, you not. Because it's like, bro, it doesn't matter if it's, bro, you gotta understand, bro, people don't care about catalogs, bro. Like, it doesn't, bro. First of all, we gonna click off. We understand what happened, though. If something crazy happens, y'all please let me know. Flacco gonna let me know, though. Because Flacco, I ain't gonna lie. Shout out Flacco, though. I don't think I be seeing it enough. Y'all think I hate Flacco because I be putting the video on. Damn, my phone just fell crazy on the floor. Because I be putting the video on 1.5. But I do Jack Flacco, pause. You know what I'm saying? But I do Jack Flacco, gang, because he consistent, bro. He's somebody that be on the grind, and I respect the grind, bro. One thing I respect is the grind. But, yeah, Chad, it doesn't matter what you did in the past, gang. What matters is how you took your life and how you carry yourself after that. Because you can be the biggest killer, bro. But as soon as somebody does something to you, you go snitch. I'm sorry, my guy, but choose a snitch. I don't care who you kill. Because you're just playing one side of the ball. Like, you can't just kill, and then when I try to kill you, you gonna snitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, gang. Then you're not a gangster. I'm sorry. But yeah, y'all let me know what's the word, though. Fat Diddy is crazy.